Good evening. Again, if any time during the night you want to get more food, I think there's plenty back there when we do not want to trash it. So I wish we had to-go boxes so you could have a lunch for after church tomorrow if you're attending. Thanks again for coming tonight. We appreciate you all spending your Saturday evening with us, and hopefully it meets up to your expectations. Special thanks to, before we get started, to Miss Murphy and Miss Higgs, so if you could give them a... Miss Murphy and Miss Higgs get round up our sponsorships for the first down, halftime. They also make sure that we're fed for our home games or away games. And then tonight, I talked to both of them, and this is the first time we've done this, and we're kind of like, hey, food, yes or no? And they were like, all right, we'll do it. And so they kind of headed that up. They didn't kind of, they did. And so we appreciate them and their hard work to get this cafeteria transformed into something that's presentable. So thank you for them. Thanks to the coaches for helping out this year yet again, Coach Hendricks, Coach Head, and Coach Brown. It's a lot of time, and then for Coach Brown and Coach Head, they don't fit with a school schedule, so they've got to come from a 8 to 5 or whatever their job schedule and try to fit that into our football schedule, and that could be in the mornings, in the afternoon, JV games, and everything in between, so we appreciate them. Thanks to the parents. You have a big undertaking in middle school. They're still attached to you so much with transportation and needs. And we try to grow that, but it's only so much you can do. But thank you for your support to games, support to JV games, travel to and from, and then kind of lifting them up when they need that throughout the season. And also shout out to you guys for another season where, it means a lot to me. I was not inboxed with complaints. And it was nothing but, hey, can you help me out? So whether you complained or not, I didn't hear about it, so I appreciate that. And so I appreciate and letting us just coach and trusting me to do a good job with your son or daughter. Thanks to my wife. She has to do a lot on all these game nights, bringing all 4 of our crazy daughters to and from the games, and making it so I can not feel like I'm away from them, so I can be around these guys and get my testosterone fix. Shout out to our filmers. Caleb's here. Caleb, where you at, Caleb? Caleb's filmed for us every game, and then Riley also helped out. Thanks to our sponsors. I ran the slide. I'll show it again, but we had several sponsors that contribute. They don't have to do something like that, but it goes to giving these guys what I think are some of the best gear and uniforms that they see and that they play against, and we appreciate that. We've got our water girl team, our team managers. If you girls could stand up for us and embarrass you for a minute. We appreciate them. They have a very selfless, service-filled job where they get zero recognition. And the guys can kind of get cranky sometimes on a hot day, and they've got to have thick skin. And we talk about respect all the time. And so it's a growing process. But they do an awesome job with their JV games. But they're hopefully a close-knit group like I think they are, and we appreciate them for being a part of the team. So thanks again, girls. Before we keep going, can you guys hear me in the back? Mr. Riley, can you hear me? Okay, good. I want to make sure, I think I can hear myself, but I want to make sure you can in the back. Okay, so you have an itinerary on your tables, and you can kind of follow along. You can fill in as you see some things. And that's kind of the way the night's going to go. We're going to introduce the 7th graders, and then we're going to go individual basis for the 8th graders, because it's the last time that they'll be with us as a team. And then we'll, you can see how we'll do individual awards at the end, and we'll announce those before we go. So, Coach Brown, if you'll come up and help me. 7th graders, if you'll kind of come on over here this way. 7th graders, if you'll line up, if you remember your football number, line up by that trash can. Start over there by the trash can, and you'll walk this way. Jack will be first. seventh graders. We're excited about this team coming back, starting back in the spring. And in case you're wondering through your calendar, spring football takes place at the end of April, beginning of May, that kind of last week of April, beginning of May. And we're excited to see these guys be leaders next year. They came a long way. They contributed some, but that's kind of the way it goes with seventh graders. You can see the size difference in them. If you took a picture now and this to next year, it just grows so much. It kind of becomes an eighth grade league. So if they got some playing time, that was huge. And they should be honored that they got it. But we're looking forward to them next year. All right, number 1, Jack Patterson. Number 2, Michael Albin. Number 6, Jacob Stovall. Number 9, Seth Tebow. Number 21, Joseph Taylor. Number 27, Evan Nassari. Number 30, Jacob Atkins. Number 34, Jamont Williams. Number 40, Avery Jones. Number 45, Walter Harrod. Number 46, Nate Webb. Number 47, Owen Jordan. Number 60, Bryson Cunningham. Number 63, Zion McAlpine. Number 69, Taylor Spain. Number 78, Kyson Barksdale. And number 99, Will Johnson. So your 7th grade members of the team. We're going to do 8th grade introductions. Each coach has a few different players that they're going to introduce. They'll say some attributes and things that you contribute to the team. They're going to announce the players. So, first up is Coach Head.
So this player worked hard, was a leader, and made some huge plays for us this season, Bryce Howden. This player always had a good attitude. He came to practice ready to work, and he stepped into a huge role this season when we needed him most, Reagan O'Brien. This player was always looking to get better. He was always looking for reassurance that he was doing good and doing the job we wanted him to do. Will Riley. This player came to practice every day. He worked extremely hard and gave our first team players some good reps and good looks. Bryson Duke. This player showed up to practice every day. He was always very coachable. He listened very well. He loved coming up and just being a good teammate this season. Nathan Coper.
Next up, we have our legendary coach. How many years have you coached at Ellis football? 3. Coach Hendricks was my middle school football coach.
Okay, that's enough. All right, a couple of things real quick. You don't really know how much I enjoy being here. I love working with young guys. I've worked with the older ones at the high school level. I've done the 9th grade. These guys are fun. I enjoy being around them. I enjoy what they bring. They make me young, which I already am, but it doesn't make any difference. But hey, I just want them to know how much I like being around them. And 8th graders, I'm going to miss you, but I will see you next year in wellness class, hopefully. And we'll go from there, and I hope all of y'all go play 9th grade football next year. The first guy that I got, this young man did a great job for us on defense. He was one of our linebackers. Counted on him a lot. Made a lot of big tackles for us. Played fullback on offense. Ran the trap just as good as anybody I've ever seen. And things like that. And that's Jacob Murphy. This other young man, he's also one of our linebackers. We had 2 very good linebackers this year. Both of them did a great job. This one did a real good job also. Was our tailback on offense. Carried the ball a lot. Did a great job on offense. A lot of times he was back returning punts or returning kickoffs. Just a good all-around football player for us this year, and that's Spencer Malinowski. This young man, I've known his family for a long time. His brother played for me in baseball and things. This guy right here never played football before. For not playing, it's different, it's difficult, and I think he did a tremendous job for us this year. Played defensive line. Played on the offensive line on offense, and I'm just very proud of him. And he did a tremendous job by this guy and things. And that's Landon Vaughn. This young man on defense played defensive end. Did a great job for us. I always call him on defense that he's a bookend, and if you have good bookends, you're going to have a good defensive play, a good defensive team that year. And I think we had a very good defense this year, and they played very hard. Played offensive tackle on offense and did a very good job there. A very good athlete, I think. He's it reminds me a lot of myself. Okay, and that's Cody Johnson. This young man, very good person. I like him. Played safety for us on defense. Was our quarterback on offense. Did a very good job for us this year. And on both sides of the ball, very proud of him. His brother plays baseball for me. And another very good person, and that's Mason Baker. Hey, this last guy, I tell you what, I love kids like this. This is a guy, didn't start all the time, played a pretty good amount, had a good year. If you needed somebody on defense, if you hollered for somebody, I need somebody to play tackle, he was in there. I need somebody to play here, he was in there. Great guy, I love him. I'll see him again next year, and that's Braxton McKenzie.
All right, some of my 8th grade players that I'm going to recognize tonight. First, this guy also had never played, and that's probably what's the best part about middle school is you get all these guys that never played and they need to play. And I think football is important for middle school boys. And this is very much one of them. I was happy that he came out, he stuck out, and came all the way through the season. I was not for sure on some occasions, but he came in and he got a few touchdowns this year. I'm so happy for him. He's got his grades rocking and rolling. I couldn't be more proud of him, and that is Stephen Baker. This next guy, super good athlete, willing to do whatever you need in practice, will do any role, and he's not afraid to hit anyone at any time, especially his brother. That is Hayden Gregory. Super proud of this guy. Certainly not one of the biggest that we've ever played. Definitely not one of the fastest that we've ever played, but he's super intelligent. He gets that sports smarts. Also very school smart when he applies it, and that's been evident this year. And I know he's going to stick with that. And I can't wait to see him on the awards ceremony day, making that AB honor roll, and he can do it. And he's one of my proudest moments as a coach on how far he's turned and turning as a young man. And that is Sean Autry. This next guy had never played before either. He was there every single practice, willing to get in whenever we needed. He wasn't always for sure, like, Coach, are you sure you want me to do this? But he came back every day, was willing to get up and compete every single day in practice. And I hope he sticks with it because he's going to have the size for it. And I think after they get that first year off of him, they become more aggressive. And that is Hayden Hartman. Another first-year player, and he did a tremendous job. He came into a role that we didn't really think that he was going to do, and he came in and did a good job with that. But even when we didn't need him there at some points, he was like, hey, can I get in here? Can I get in here? He was always dying to compete. A super competitive young man, and I hope he keeps that competitive spirit in life. And with his work ethic, I think he'll be just fine. And that is Ryan Cohan. Last but not least is a fine young man and just a super good young man. And he's a perfect guy to have on your team. He does whatever you need. Yes, sir. He's on time. He's accountable. He's intelligent. He works hard. And you love to coach this type of guy. A 2-year starter for us, and I'm gonna hate to see him go. He's just one of those good people that you love and that you want to make sure that you keep in touch with as things keep going on in this life, and that is William Higgs. Next up, we have Coach Brown introducing his player.
First off, I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to coach you. I've enjoyed it so much since I got to know each and one of you in different ways than what I ever even thought I could. You were all going to be great people. Put what you put into football into life, and you'll get something good out of it. So to start off here, this first guy, he came to practice every day, working. I mean, he came out, and we all knew he was out there to work because football means a lot to him. It's more than just a game. It is something he loves. And I think he, as a person, it actually represents who he is. Because as I've gotten to know him, he puts everything he has into everything. And that is Mason Miller. next kid, he'll put a smile on your face, or he'll make you want to hit him a little bit. He's hilarious, but he's too much sometimes. I think we all know exactly what I'm trying to say. I love him. He was the first kid here that ever, I guess, wanted to challenge my authority as a coach. He decided to tip off my hat. So I made him go against our best lineman we had a few times, just to, take that. But I love him. Every day I got to know you, I understand exactly why you did that after that. So, Dominique Rodriguez. Oh, the next one. He's he tries. Every day, every practice, every play. He puts his effort out there. Sometimes he might not use the brain when it comes to keeping his technique, but he always gave what he had out on the field. You just couldn't necessarily rely on him to stay in his position or to hit the people the right way. But everything I've gotten to know about you, Carson Gregory, this last kid, I want to say that he is arguably one of the best kids I've ever got a chance to know. There's just something special about him as a person. He's so nice. He always go out of his way to make sure that you're okay. Hey, are you doing all right today? Give you a handshake, let you know he cares about you. And that's Chase Miller.
All right, at this time we want to recognize together up front, so when I call your name, we're going to do the all-county team, so you guys go ahead and come on up. We'll recognize you in front of everybody. If you're on the all-county team this year, I promise not to roast you like Coach Brown. Maybe so. All right, and not in any particular order. Our all-county team, you got to have a foundation on any team, but certainly you have to have a team to win the games. And it's not just these guys, but they were our foundation this year. We appreciate their leadership, their dedication. A lot of times, I've had in the past, some of your better players can be some of your most high maintenance. And yes, we do have some divas amongst us. But for the most part, they were here every practice. Reliable, accountable, and I appreciated that so much from this team. I remember talking to Britt a few times about I really love these guys, being around them, enjoying coaching them, and they're a fun group to be. So, from not in any particular order, Mason Lilly, William Higgs, Landon Vaughn, Bryce Carmine Howland, Mason Baker, Spencer Malinowski, and Jacob Murphy. Our all-county team. Cody Johnson. Sorry, just skipped right over you. All right, next up, announcing our Scout Team Award winner is Coach Head.
The Scout Team Award is for the player that comes to practice every day and gives the hardest effort, works the hardest during practice, and comes out and gives our first string players the best reps and best looks. Hayden Gregory.
and we wanted to run behind him because we knew that he would have his block, and we could trust that he was going to be there, having our back like we have his. Mason Moore.
All right, offensive MVP, we certainly could not have been as efficient. The offensive MVP goes to the player that our team relied on the most to make sure our offense ran smoothly, whether making plays or simply just being a leader. We could not have done without this player on the offensive side of the football. Mason Baker.
All right, our defensive board this year, and hey, we could have gave this to 3 or 4 or 5 different people. If it was left up to me, I'd give to all 11 of them because they played great on defense this year. But our defensive guy is a guy who pursued the ball against all types of blockers, runners, and passers. This player led by example with his effort on every snap and every play, and that's Cody Johnson.
Our most improved player award. This award goes to the player who came out and showed great spurt throughout the season, from school practice to the end, learning the overall basics of the game, his technique, and just how to be a good teammate overall. Landon Brown.
Next, we have the Most Valuable Player Award. And this goes to the player who had the greatest impact on both sides of the ball, in which, if you go back and watch each one of our games, he's the guy you're watching. He is electric on and off the field. He's a great guy to know. That is Spencer Malinowski.
All right, I actually have 3 for the Leadership Award. This is probably my favorite and most important award. Kind of ironically, 2 of the recipients are not here tonight, though. This award goes to the players who best exemplify what Ellis football is about. Having great attitudes daily, a willingness to do what is best for the team, an effort that is unparalleled, and certainly guys that you just love to have on the team. And that is Adam Alzubi, Josh Sartain, and William Higgs. All right, at this time I'm going to cue up our highlight video, so it might take me just a second. But Mr. Malinowski is not here tonight, but he was able to do that for us. It's about 10 minutes long. He did a great job on it. Hopefully you enjoy it. But I'll cue that up, I'll hit the lights, and then we'll have a few more remarks and we'll call it a night.